Henry McClure live. What are you doing tonight? This is gonna. Hey, am I back on Henry McClure live? I'm getting a bad reflection out of these. Anyway, how are you tonight? Um, I want to say one thing about me running for the county commissioner. I'm as serious as a heart attack. I'm telling you, I understand that there's 530 people that work in the jail, and we've got a great jailer. I understand there's 475 people that work for the sheriff's department, and we've got a great sheriff. And I understand there's a lot of staff. I've been going to the meetings. In fact, tomorrow's workshop meeting is at the Expo Center. And there's a lot of good people that work for this county. There's a lot of nice people. People have been trying to say that Henry, you're a one note guy about economic development. Well, maybe I've beat that to death, but maybe the even playing field that I've been discussing about economic development is actually by taking all the money that we have for economic development and just putting it into infrastructure, better streets, uh, better bridges. That probably would be the best even playing field for everybody. Lower taxes. That would make people want to live here. We never talk about that. We're always okay, and maybe each development needs to stand on its own. If you guys really ever knew how much headaches it's been to get Chick-fil-A and Whataburger in this town, and that's another thing. As a county commissioner, there's not a boundary. If you're having trouble working with the city of Topeka, I feel your pain. We've really got to engage the MTPO. I'm getting a couple emails. What's this action needed keyframe too low? I don't know what that means. I got one viewer watching. One of the main things that made me want to engage and become part of the political process, a little of it is part of it is my professional life being painted into a corner. More importantly, I think it's duty to the community, duty to the county. It's my duty as a citizen. Somebody has to be the deal maker. Somebody needs to understand how to make deals. And if you look back at my professional career, all the real estate deals I've done, all the developments I've done, I think that is a wealth of experience that nobody in this county can match. Nobody. Matt Pavarnak doesn't know how to make deals. And actually, he's a lot better deal maker than me when you consider the consistency of a $338,000 salary. So I salute you, Matt, on that one. And Molly, I don't know what you make. I don't really care. It's not my job to count your money. But when I keep talking about the chamber and go Topeka, so I've asked Kevin Cook, I said, Kevin, why don't you look at the deal I brought up a couple of years ago about Pizza Hut? Just asking for a sewer line. So let's get those meeting notes. Yeah, I go back here. I'm going back to development because this is my life and an even playing field. to make it to where Doug Bassett, to make it where um, Mike Morris, to make it where Brian Slosher, everybody can get the same deal. This is my career. So, yeah, I'm going to talk a little more about it. Fortunately, with my change in lifestyle, I don't spend a lot of time in the jail. I, I have I have had an overnight stay in the jail, but after 9 years of being clean and sober, I got a story to tell about recovery. What do I think the number one reason we've got homeless people? Well, I think it's drug addiction. I think there's a lot we can do. I think it's so important to have the programs available because half of winning is showing up. You, uh, there's a lot of people, and I think the statistics are unwavering of the success of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I think that Narcotics Anonymous has got great success. To me, it's all drug addiction. But if we could get people clean and sober, we can, I think we could help probably have less homeless people. You see where I'm going with this? But Henry McClure understands recovery. I get it. And my recovery is actually why I can't take it anymore. I see the abuse, the waste. Maybe 10, 11 years ago, you you'd see the same thing, but you just go to the bar and forget about it. There's a bunch of guys there in the same room that they found the same thing. I'm telling you, who I love is this James Bolton Jr. He was at the last Go Topeka meeting, and he was trying to uh, he was fed up with Go Topeka as a minority. We did a couple of programs, and I want to do another show with him. But he said to me, he goes, "Man, I never knew a white guy was discriminated on till I met you." And it's almost like the body politic. We're going to make sure Henry McClure doesn't make any deals with our money. Now, Wheatfield, on the other hand, I'll show you, I'll print up the Wheatfield, got $1,600,000 in the sales tax dollars. And no, and I don't think it was $1,600,000 from Fairlawn down 29th Street because that's on the ballot. But it's 29th. When it was on the ballot, I don't think Wheatfield was even a gleam in Jimbo's eye. But from 29th to Wanamaker, that project is in the sales tax. But here's what I'm willing to do right now. Let's just dump the whole thing. Let's as a community, let's come together. Let's find out what everybody says economic development is. I know nobody really wants to have it be what Henry McClure says, at least the elected officials, and especially Go Topeka. But let's take $5 million a year and let's just put it into infrastructure. Man, that solves the whole problem. That in itself is the even playing field. Right? I'm not getting any comments. Let's see. Do I even have anybody watching? Let's see here. Yeah, I got one person I think watching. I don't know. 3 viewers. Hello. Well, welcome to my chateau. That up there, that's my oldest brother, Johnny, stepbrother. That's my dad's flag from, he was Army Air Corps. Oh man, that's a great picture right there. The one of St. David's. I got a couple of those. Did you know my dad formed St. David's? I'm always bragging. Anyway, I've had enough. I had a long day. I worked around I worked around the 520. I got a couple of phone calls about my election, and are you serious about running? And I don't think I don't think I'm not serious. I Isn't 9 years of being clean and sober, isn't that enough to have people start taking you serious? How long does it take? Find out. Oh, it was funny. This was more of an established Republican. Well, they're going to come after you on this the drinking issue because that's what people always remember. Well, all right. Why don't you ask those people if they drink? I remember some of the biggest detractors when there were people telling me I needed to quit drinking. Those were the people in the bars. Oh man, I'm pretty lucky. At 65, yeah, I supplement my diet with some vitamins. If you're not feeling good, take a bunch of D3. Take some zinc, magnesium in the evening helps you sleep. Clove water. Man, I've been drinking this. It's sauerkraut juice. Oh man, is it pungent? Just the thought of it. But I'm telling you, it detoxifies your liver. It cleans your liver out. Your liver, even though after 7 years your liver will regenerate itself, but your liver does like 530 different functions. And so I do that. I like Dr. Gundry's. I love Dr. Gundry, but he has some stuff called Vital Reds. So garlic in the morning with olive oil, but it's all natural, healing yourself from in the inside out. And that's why I can't tolerate what's going on anymore in this town. Born here July 13th, 1959, and I've heard all the bull, yap, 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 about how we're going to do things different. And we've got to take control away from the greater Topeka Chamber of Commerce, or the greater whatever, the partnership. They don't need to run Go Topeka. It's They've got, I think, 9.7 million in donations from the chamber, and the Go Topeka is $5 million of graft for the chamber to glom onto. And I can't wait to see where all the gifts, the $1 million of gifts and scholarships and all that, where did that money really go? Because we didn't vote. It wasn't a ballot initiative to say, well, we're going to do half-cent sales tax, and then we're going to give it over here to Go Topeka, and then they're going to decide how to be charitable. No, if we're going to play it that way, I'm going to make sure that there will be more people. So if you believe in what I'm doing or what I'm saying, somebody ought to file in Aaron Mays's district. Hey, me and you can at least change the county. There's a couple of people now on the city that aren't going along with uh, the party line. We had some people at least smart enough to vote no on subsidizing a hotel they never should have bought. And I'll tell you how you fix the hotel. Well, number one, you ought to at least counter offer a guy that makes an offer that's qualified to buy it. You ought to at least give the guy the courtesy of a counter. And those consultants, man, they're smug. Hey, but they can be because They get paid no matter what. They don't have to be nice to me. I kind of go, I mean, I expected that. The city hired him. But I'll tell you the answer to the hotel problem, and and this is what a deal maker would do, is you find somebody that you like and do sell or write a covenant to operate the hotel. Then you put the capital improvements on there on the table, and you figure out how to stop draining the taxpayer, and you figure out how to get this thing purchased over time. But the way they're trying to do it, they've shot themselves in the foot with the way they've done economic development. I got a note from a young man who he wrote some advertisements for me for my campaign, and I'm going to do the spots. But he was talking about how this is just a town of box movers. And he must have, maybe, if he came up with that on his own, I hope so. But think about it. Look, you can go move boxes in Walmart. And so, but let's go back a second. When we originally did the economic development and voted for this, it was to grow the population and lower the tax base. It didn't do either. Well, did it create a bunch of jobs? Yeah. And if you use Reaganomics, the trickle down theory, well, if you give money to those people, they're going to spend it here. You know, they got to buy gas to come and go because they don't live in Shawnee County. So anytime they spend money while they're here, well, those are like imported dollars. So those are better tax dollars than our tax dollars because they came from another county. But it's not increasing your real estate taxes. It's not lowering them. We didn't spread the burden, and we didn't grow the population. So let's just redefine what economic development is. But it's not supporting, it's not taking 67% of the 67% of the $5 million and paying for the salaries of Molly and her crew. I tell you what I want to do today. I want to give $1 or $2 million of that money to the sheriff so he can increase his technology when he moves over to the new building. They've got to move because of the viaduct. And had a great meeting with Brian Hill. Uh, Vote for Brian Hill. Send Brian Hill some money. But today, the way things are, this is a border town, whether we like it or not. And all the police chief wouldn't have pulled me out of a meeting when I made the videos about the buses unless it was really happening. And I don't. His perception is reality. And so let's do this. Here, we'll just change it up. Because I'll tell you one thing, Go Topeka does better than me is they're better bullshitters. So let's get let's get the graphs and the charts and the colored wheels and all that, the pie charts and the graphs, and let's study the benefits of where all the economic development's gone. Why don't you just put up or shut up? Why don't we actually have a report card? We never really did a report card in consolidating parks and recreation. Let's do that. Right now, I have a guy that wants to privatize Dornwood. That's cool. I think we should privatize the plaza. That's cool. Where could we privatize and get the government out of operating certain things? If an entrepreneur could come forward, And I'm telling you, the one thing I want more than anything is I want the government out of my industry. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm ready to jump on the boat and throw the tea in the river, throw the tea in the bay. But that's what we need to do. We need to make change in this community. If you like the way everything's going, don't vote for me. If you want change, and not just for the sake of change, which maybe some of that wouldn't be too bad, but I want to change things up. Got it all out? Feel good? Oh man, that was 20-minute rant. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll go live. I might even shoot the whole walkthrough live at the county work session. Hey, if nobody told you they love you, I love you. Day's almost over. We got Monday. Monday, Monday. There's nobody more serious about changing this community than Henry McClure. And there's nobody that understands change more. And the change that I went through in my life makes me see why we need to change. And we as citizens there needs to be a call to action. It's just like that movie Network where the guy goes out, he goes, I'm mad as hell and I ain't taking it anymore. Well, I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not going to let them spoon feed me this gruel. All right, I love you all. Good night.